So just the other day, we had the Post Malone event officially end in Apex Legends, and so I decided to go to Twitch to see what was really going on, because it seemed like the game had died down quite a bit, and what I saw pretty much surprised me. Apex Legends was only being viewed by about 29,000 people, whereas Fortnite was still rocking around 300 and 100,000. And this might not seem like that big of a deal. Fortnite's always been very, very popular, but between two of the biggest battle royales, that is a very huge discrepancy. Now, I was thinking, Twitch viewership isn't the end-all be-all. By no means is a game being popular on Twitch mean that it is dying off. So I decided to go over to the Steam charts and take a look. And there's some pretty interesting statistics here. As you can see, the average player count in Apex Legends is the lowest it has been since November of 2022, which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it, because for whatever reason, Apex just kind of dies during November and December. You can look at the direct dates there, and you can see that the exact time frame that Apex is struggling right now, we did the exact same last year. Although I will say the numbers for this year in September, August, July, and June have been lower than last year's, as you can see a little bit of the cutoff there, which does show that Apex Legends is in fact declining. It has not had an average of over 200,000 players since May of this year. But when it was dying last year in 2022, it shot up in February of 2023 to one of its highest play counts of this year in the last couple years to 257,000. Now this might seem like a lot of analytics, but what happened in February? Well, we got the brand new season launched. Respawn actually hyped up the season with an entire roadmap, which was fantastic. It was the anniversary event, and it did all of this without adding in a new legend, which is something that we are going to harp back on. But why was the season with no legend so popular? Well, I do believe that it was the mixtape mode added in, which featured Control, Gunrun, and TDM. Because there was no new legend and no new weapon added was the main driving force of people coming back. Of course, the anniversary is always very hyped, but I think what we can look to is why the Post Malone event was so popular, and it was. You can see multiple news articles talking about how 3 Strikes LTM is reinvigorating lapsed players, the Post Malone event is cool, Squash shows off hilarious new content with 3 Strikes LTM. There's a ton of stuff put online about how hypey LTM was. And the mixtape mode did the exact same thing back in February. It gave us a new way to play Apex Legends, which is what this game desperately needs at this point. Because it's not just an Apex Legends problem, Battle Royale is starting to fade away from the public consciousness. Since Fortnite, Warzone, and Apex, can't think of any top tier Battle Royales that have taken over the charts. There just hasn't been anything new to really do that. And games like the finals that have come out have garnered a lot of appreciation despite being a buggy mess, because it's just something new people can play. Now there's always going to be that one dude in the comments section who was like, but wait, I love Apex Legends. The Battle Royale is what makes it what it is. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand your point, and if you enjoy Apex Legends in the current state that it is, that is totally fine. But you can't ignore the statistical numbers that whenever something new is added to the game, the numbers pop up, and when it's just the same old skill-based matchmaking from hell with the pubs and ranked, it dies off horribly. Mixtape hasn't had a new mode added in since its inception, and so of course the player count is down because there's not a new way to play Mixtape. It's just those same 3 cycled modes, and Battle Royale pubs is in the worst state it has ever been with the skill-based matchmaking. As Tim Provision, another great content creator, points out, with 3 Strikes exiting the game, I figured it's worth a mention about how rough Apex's matchmaking is again, especially for casuals. Interesting that one of the most dedicated pros who is playing Apex for fun can't even stand Apex's matchmaking makes me wonder how any casual feels. And this is actually the clip. Let's go ahead and run it right here. Apex just got to the point where it wasn't even fucking fun, dude. I was spawning in against 3 stack pros, you fucking 8 pro teams in a lobby. I'm playing as a summer hobby. I'm just getting yelled at. Okay, so as you can see from the clip, players are just tired of how this game just grinds you down to get player attention. We've seen it over and over again. In fact, the Post Malone collection event, you could not complete everything in unless you played every single day and got every single challenge done, because they wanted the player attention so high. But the thing is, and I think we need to be thankful here, because Respawn is actively trying to make this game good. I'm not just trying to sit here and say they're not doing anything. They did try to add in that respawn mechanic in the beginning of the season, which allowed you to come back with armor and your weapons. Although there were some exploits and there are issues in rank. Break is also in a very bad state right now. I'm not even going to really get into that. But it is evident that Respawn is trying to change things, even if it isn't always working out, as the aforementioned ranked and skill-based matchmaking have gone through changes and it's just not doing much. We are getting a brand new event in about 2 weeks on December 5th with the Uprising Collection event. We even got a little bit of a teaser trailer with Lova crying Revenant. That story is concluding. And I'm glad that it's actually concluding, because it feels like it's been since season 4 all the way to season 19 that it's taken to conclude this thing, which is a whole other can of worms terms, I feel like a lot of the hype there has actually died down because they waited so long to finish this up. We've got new legends like Conduit and Ballistic. Even Vantage, we have received no updates on lore, and by the time we get to it, no one's going to care. When Vantage was introduced, I wanted to know, hey, why are they on a prison planet? What's going on with that? And I feel like we may get an answer someday in the far future, maybe season 40, that no one at that point is going to care. There are some other great things that they are planning to do to introduce in this event though, such as the brand new LTM that features player perks or modifiers that are only usable in non-ranked, which is a very, very good thing. I'm glad that they are doing that. And so this could actually end up being really, really cool and really, really unique. And it does show that the Respawn team is willing to take chances and try new things. In fact, Oz gave us a whole new list of new LTMs coming, such as Strikeout LTM with disabled crafters, Turbo LTM disabled Mozambique and P2020, 2 dropships at once being tested, 2 hot zones at once being tested, Akimbo P2020s, which has been in the game files and in internal leaks. We know we have a brand new Battle Royale map coming in called East District, which is going to take place on a giant city type map, which is going to be a little bit like Warzone or Call of Duty if you've ever played that, although they did remove the wall running faction. There's a brand new treasure hunt game mode coming into Mixtape, which is kind of like Hardpoint from Call of Duty. They're even going to go ahead and nostalgia bait us by bringing Thunderdome back, which, you know, I'm not usually a fan of getting nostalgia baited by games because it's just a quick way to get me to play it and not give me any new content for 3 months, but screw it. I love Thunderdome. I will be okay if this comes back as the next permanent mode in Mixtape. And I'm really hoping that they do take 3 strikes and a lot of these other LTMs and make it its own playlist in Apex Legends instead of just the pubs and ranked BR. Because as Face Snipedown says here, have fun playing other games feels like a thing of the past. Hoping 3 strikes stays around after all the positive feedback, that's at least keeping me afloat, and he's 100% right. Apex Legends is a game that will be going on 4 or 5 years now, and with that being said, it's always just been pubs and ranked. With a recent addition of Mixtape, you can make changes in that live service of pubs and ranked, but without new modes to play on a consistent basis, you will see what I showed you already on the Steam charts, where we will have massive spikes of players when something new comes out, but unless you continually add new ways for the players to stay engaged or find a personal favorite that they enjoy, you are going to have a continually declining player base that eventually underperforms, as it did recently in Season 17, as Apex Legends news reported that EA said that. And what happens when that is funding starts getting cut, Respawn has to pull back, and now all of a sudden we're not getting any new content because it is in a spiral. If there's one thing that EA is known for, it's closing down studios when they begin to underperform.